The SEALs were created in 1962, descendants of the famous underwater demolition teams of Korea and World War II. Vietnam was their first action. This war was to be fought using traditional military tactics, which called for superiority in numbers and equipment to ensure victory. Although this conventional approach ultimately failed on the battlefield, Vietnam became a watershed for modern special operations. With never more than 300 men in Vietnam at any one time, SEALs were brutally effective in adapting themselves to the situation.
During Vietnam, they used to be called the men with green faces because, according to the Viet Cong, they seemed to rise out of the ground, out of nowhere, with green camouflage paint to kill off VC. They were as terrifying as the VC were. In fact, it was the one war where the U.S. government fought fire with fire.
Sitting 6 or 8 hours in the water on a canal waiting for some VC to come driving by in his sampan so you could grease him. That got old in a hurry. And for two reasons. One, it's not a lot of fun sitting in the water 6 to 8 hours. And two, you weren't always sure who you were shooting. The legacy of Vietnam was a lot of people saw us as just that, hunters and killers. And because that's what we did, and that's what we were paid to do. Although, to be quite honest, the most successful Vietnam operations didn't involve killing at all, it involved capturing. But killing was part of it. I mean, you can't get around it. We kept adapting, and in a sense, I guess you could say, that we did become a lot more like the VC than the VC themselves. And I think that's one of the reasons why we were so damn successful over there.
The ideal SEAL strategy is to win without fighting a pitched battle, accomplishing the most destruction with a minimal amount of effort. Their attack relies on intense violence and the impact of shock force to create a temporary appearance of superior strength. In any fight, it is essential that they first stun their target with an all-out fury, then quickly fade away in the confusion. At critical moments in combat, men must overcome conditions and misery they could never have imagined. For SEALs operating far from the protection of the main force, the difference between living and dying is measured in seconds. In this particular maneuver, called a center field, a SEAL squad uses live ammunition while practicing a coordinated move-and-shoot maneuver. Despite the appearance of overwhelming firepower, an 8-man squad's rate of fire is limited by the amount of ammunition they carry, often not more than 4,000 rounds. Platoon are modified to fit personal requirements for weight and dependability. The M-60 is normally a crew-served weapon, but in a SEAL platoon, it is carried by one man. The platoon life of the M-60 gunner is burdened by the extra 35 to 45 pounds of weapon and ammunition he must carry.
Well, basically, 60 gunners are there to lay down the law. A lot of platoons, they give the 60s to the new guys, which I don't completely agree with because it takes a lot more experience and time to be able to carry that gun and move with a rifleman at the same pace and not grow tired and not lag behind, because then you're just a hindrance.
I did 5 platoons carrying an M-60, and it's not fun. The platoon can only move as fast as its slowest man. Your slowest man is always your 60 gunner, period. And people are like, come on, dude. Let's move, all right? You know, they're mad at you. It takes you longer to get up a cliff, takes you longer to get across the river. But when you start rocking and rolling out there, they love you. And the other guys, they know that there's a wall of lead out there, and there's that sound that keeps the enemy's heads down, and they can concentrate on picking the guys off. That 60, it's a sweet sound.
Yeah, always the first thing on my mind is to lay down as much lead as I can as quick as possible. I like to just destroy as much stuff as I can in the least amount of time. That way it gives everybody else enough time to get back.
The preparation for war never stops for any